What is going on, you guys? My name is Alex, and I'm a 22-year-old trader attempting to master the stock market to potentially one day join the very few who make a living out of this. And it looks like the stock market just got hit with a sledgehammer today. Massive black candle here, or a red candle for some of you guys. We might be coming down to these levels over here, to be honest with you, because I think the market is going to crash. Not aggressively, but it'll just come down nicely, I think. And there's potential in that. There's room to make some money right there. So I actually think there's enough potential to move down all the way to the 200 EMA here. I found a lot of good opportunities today. Definitely news related, something about employment, I believe. Honestly, I don't care. All I care about are the technicals, not fundamentals. So what exactly are the technicals? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I also wanted to talk about why I don't use hard stop losses, since we've seen some good examples with today's big gap being a great example. We got a big gap down today, or sorry, not a big gap down, a big gap up, and then we came down aggressively. If you look closely right here, you'll see this candle actually opens above, way over here, high up here, and then it just aggressively crashes down here. So that's a very interesting thing. That's a good example why I don't use hard stop losses, but I'm going to break that down right now. So just in general, I think it's a very important topic to talk about. I'll also explain my strategy briefly. If you want a full breakdown of my strategy, I do have that in my Discord, along with a whole bunch of other good stuff like daily alerts. As you can see here, we have Netflix, Spotify, Walmart, Amazon. I gave these alerts at 9:30 in the morning, so very early head start to you guys. We have Walmart here going on with a nice little break above the resistance or trend line, downward trend line here, whatever you want to call it. Nice little breakout though, nice little candle as well, aggressive candle. And Netflix here, which is one that I'm going to be talking about. Nice little breakdown below. We took this trade. We also took the Walmart trade. Another trade we took right now was Spotify. These three trades we took, so 3 out of the 4 trades we took. Amazon, I didn't really like it too much, to be honest with you guys, just because it was sitting near the 200 exponential moving average here, so I didn't take that trade. But I did take Spotify, Netflix, and Walmart. And again, I did post it here. As you can see here, if we look at this one right here, my order list, we do have Walmart, Spotify short, Netflix short as well. All of them took today just a couple of minutes before the market closed. So 10 minutes before the market closed, that gave you guys 5 minutes to potentially take this trade. We were also holding Microsoft, Tesla, PanW, and Costco. Just that Costco didn't come up here, but we were holding this one. We still are holding this one. All of them are, or at least 3 of them are up at least 1K. And yeah, so I do also offer something else that I don't think many other people offer, at least not for free, and that is an apprenticeship. So definitely, if you're interested in learning and having someone actually guide you guys, well, I'm right here for you guys, and it's completely free. Why is it for free? Well, I simply want to build my teaching experience. So when it gets to the point where I actually do charge people for something like this, which is definitely something you want to be charging people for, because you're spending a lot of time and a lot of effort into teaching people, I want to have some credibility, I want to have some reputation, some experience in actually teaching. So completely free. Join if you like. If you don't like it, you can just feel free to leave at any time. I don't really mind. We only have 11 people here, so not much people, and to be quite frank with you guys, a lot of these people aren't even traders. So if you're a trader, make sure to join, and I'm almost certain that you'll enjoy the whole experience here. Again, we have the full strategy breakdown of mine, the watch list, the apprenticeship, and the little chat here of me actually calling out my trades that I take. So with that being said, is that fair enough? First of all, if it's fair enough, well, let's move forward. Okay, let's move on to my current positions, and then we'll get into some charts, break them down, as well as my strategy, explain why I don't use hard stop losses, and finally end it off with some stocks you can potentially trade tomorrow, or maybe even today. Actually, now that the market is closed, maybe you could enter a after hours market. So the current positions again is Tesla. I'm gonna break down. I'm actually gonna break down only 2 stocks today, which is going to be Tesla and Netflix. Pretty much the best ones. Tesla is going to serve as an example of why I don't use hard stops. Netflix is going to serve as an example of just explaining my trading system here. So first one on the list is Tesla here. If we zoom in a little bit, if we annotate it, you will see that the initial idea behind this was a trend breakout. So the trend breakout was pretty much this trend line here. We have multiple trend lines here, but the main one is going to be this one. I can't highlight it, unfortunately, but it's this one right here. So we have 1 touch point, maybe even a 2nd touch point here, 3rd one here, and then a 4th one right here. And then we got the break on this black candle, which was our entry candle here. So we got the signal entry candle right here. Next day we moved up a little bit, and then we came right back down nicely. Actually, we came back down an aggressive amount. We're up like nearly 2K at this point, but we bounced back a little bit up higher. At this point, I started trailing my stop loss using a counter trend. So this smaller trend line here, I just hooked onto this one, and I told myself, well, if it moves up above here, I'm just gonna take my loss. And today actually it moved up $20 above that stop loss right there. So in the case that I was using a hard stop loss, I would have simply just cut my losses, and I would have been missing out literally on the $1,000 trade that I am holding on Tesla right now. As you can see here, literally up $1,000 right now on Tesla. So I would have missed out on that. In fact, I would have taken a $1,000 loss if I had just simply taken my loss right there. We're using a hard stop loss. So why do I wait for the last 10 minutes of the day? Well, it's pretty simple. I'm going to break that down exactly right here from a psychological perspective and from a technical perspective, mainly from a psychological perspective though. So if we zoom in to the 5-minute time frame here, which is going to be a good example here of why I wait for the last 5 minutes of the day. You'll see that if we look at the volume here, you'll notice that the majority of the trading activity is done on at the last 5 minutes of the day and at the beginning, probably even 15-30 minutes of the day here. So we got a huge amount of volume here, meaning that all the transactions, the buying and selling, occurs mainly in the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes of the day. Why that happens, I don't know. Maybe it's just, well, the right out of the opening gates, people just throw in their orders and a bunch of chaos happens. So this is pretty much a whole scrimmage. So everything that you see right now is a whole scrimmage between the buyers and sellers. Even each individual candle here represents a scrimmage. So for example, here is this black candle here. Focusing on this black candle here alone, you notice that the scrimmage was obviously won by the sellers here. In fact, all these 5 candles here is a representation of the sellers winning every 5-minute scrimmage here, or almost all of them, except for this white candle here. You get some buyers here, but I think you get the overall picture here. You want to be in the side of the winners, and in this case, the winners were clearly the sellers. At least if we go back into you'll see that this was an aggressive black candle here. Initially, the buyers were in control because we gapped up. We actually gapped up today, but the sellers just took control and they won the scrimmage. So that's the whole point of this. You want to be in the side of the winners here. And since I am a swing trader, I'm looking at the daily time frame. I'm going to be looking at who won the scrimmage today. So if you were an intraday trader, day trading the 5-minute time frame, you would look at who is winning every 5-minute candle. So you could say, well, it looks like the sellers are winning here. So it looks like, or in my case, it looks like, yeah, actually, in my case as well, the sellers are winning. So that also takes you into candlestick reading, your ability to read candlesticks. So if you know a lot about candlesticks, you could definitely say whether the candle is bearish or bullish. Like for example, if you look back right here, this is an engulfing candle, literally engulfed the previous candles and could have engulfed literally all these candles over here in the previous candles from the past couple of days. So this would be an engulfing candle, and if you know anything about candlestick reading, this is a bearish candle here, especially if you get it in the context of an uptrend. And as you can see, ultimately we did come down. We're coming down right now, so this could have been a good easy trade for you guys. Stop loss at the top and just simply took in a short position. So that would have been a good if you're into candlestick reading, which I do to some degree, especially if you put it in the context of a breakout. So in this case, we did get a nice little breakout. This candle wasn't the best, to be honest. You could even say that it was a bullish candle in this case, but it was still a black candle nonetheless. And today, an aggressive black candle as well. Hopefully we do get a continuation. That's actually the most probable cause. So like I said, you want to be on the side of the sellers. Now it's not a guarantee that if you enter on a black candle, the next day will be a black candle as well. It's not a guarantee, but it's just more likely to happen that it'll continue, considering the scrimmage on the daily candle was won by the sellers. It's more likely that it'll continue the next day. Obviously, news could change that completely, and you just got to be ready to take a loss in that case. But this is why I don't use hard stops, because simply you could get stopped out very quickly like this, and you don't want that. You want to know that your setup here actually did get dismantled and isn't just a little break from the sellers here. Because I mean, if you really think about it, this was kind of a break here. We got a nice little pullback to the downside, an aggressive drop, and then you get a tiny little pullback of the sellers taking a break. The buyers step in thinking they're cool, but then the sellers come in again like today and just show them who's boss pretty much. So that adds a element of confirmation. That's why I don't use hard stop losses. Also, I do that for my entries as well. So the whole strategy is based off me entering and exiting on the last 10 minutes of the day, just simply because it adds more confirmation, and it also avoids me getting a false breakout or a false stop loss. So that's why I enter and I exit on the last 10 minutes of the day. Ideally, I would enter on the last 5 minutes of the day, but since I do give out alerts, I do it in the last 10 minutes of the day and hopefully give you guys 5 minutes to take the trade. So with that being said, let's look at Netflix, a trade that I took today. I think I explained that pretty good for you guys. Hopefully you guys understood that. So Netflix, a trade that I took today, I mean, this is insanely beautiful. It doesn't get any more beautiful than this. You have everything saying that the price wants to come down. You have the moving averages even. So it's not too often when I get the moving averages in my favor, just because I am a reversal trader. But in this case, we have a large data setup here. If we look at if we zoom out a little bit, you'll notice that we have literally, like, since August 2024, this trend has been it's been trending. So we have 1 touch point, 2 touch points here, and then if we zoom in a little bit, we probably could see way more touch points here. Zooming in 2 years, so we had a 1, 2. Actually, I don't even think that was the trend here. So the trend is actually much shorter than, it is actually the same one. So we have 1 touch point, maybe even 2 touch points here, and then a third one here. And then if we zoom in closer, you get 4, 5. So 5 touch points or 4 touch points, whatever you want to call it. Either way, 3 is the bare minimum touch points that I like to see. And then an aggressive, strong bearish candle just shows up right here, letting letting any bull out there know that the bears are in control, or at least the bears are in control for now. And then again, you have the moving averages in your favor. You have the 200 EMA, or actually in this case, it's the moving average, the 200 moving average, the 20 EMA. Sorry, I keep saying EMA. The 20 moving average, 50 moving average, all of them literally pointing in the direction to the downside. And yes, that's essentially what I'm trading. Very simple setup here that I'm looking for. And I do understand that I have a couple of losers here. In fact, a lot of losses here. This brings me to another question here. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I explained it, but this is my spreadsheet here, which pretty much dates back to 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when I initially started the Discord again. I've been running the Discord for a long time now, but I haven't really advertised it the way that I am right now. And so yeah, this goes back 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And the trades that I've taken, the only trades that I've realized so far have been all losers. So we have 6 losers here. And I want to mention in this case an adage in Wall Street. It's a Wall Street adage that goes, sell your dogs and keep your dolls. In this case, I'm selling my dogs. These are all dogs. These are worth nothing to me. These are all losers. But if you look at my positions that I'm holding right now, this is what you would call your dolls. So literally holding $1,000 trades here, and you want to let these run. So at least you want to let them run until they backstab you. Once they backstab you, you want to cut them off. But this is the whole point of trading here. You want to keep your winners here and just cut your losses as soon as they show you that they don't want to work in your favor. It's kind of like hiring a person. Whenever you're hiring a person, if they do good for you, you want to pay them more and keep paying them until they don't pay you. I mean, until they don't work the way you want them to work, and then you just have to fire them. So treat the stocks like that, see the stock market like that, and you'll definitely improve your trading by a margin. So yes, this was Netflix for you guys, a 4 or 3 touch point setup here. Nice little break, aggressive candle here. Again, if you're into candlestick reading, this is definitely a bearish candle here, an aggressive black candle. I mean, you could just see the momentum in this. This is the type of volatility we would get like back here over here when the market was insanely volatile. So the volatility is definitely coming in again, and it's positioned at a great point right now. It literally broke down below a bunch of levels here, and again, the moving averages are all in our favor. So really nice setup here, really beautiful. So you probably hear the passion in my voice here, and I'm not really in a hurry. I'm just really passionate about these things here. I love watching days of volatility, of high volatility like today. It just presents a whole bunch of good examples here, which we actually took 3 trades today. One of them being a long trade, which I hesitated, which was Walmart. The reason why I hesitated, well, because today was a pretty big bearish day. But you can't ignore this aggressive bullish candle here, especially seeing this nice little break above of a resistance line right here. You can't ignore this right here. And again, we have all the moving averages pointing in our direction. The whole trend is upward, and then you get a breakout. That's just beautiful, you guys. Look at the volume as well. That's what you want to be seeing, especially considering what I was saying earlier about you want to be in the winning side. So obviously, clearly, there was a lot of buyers today, and not only that, but they came in with a lot of money. They came in with a lot of confidence. So that says something. That's telling you guys something that maybe you guys should be entering long after a move like that. So I'm gonna go over the third one just because I'm already showing you guys the positions that I took today. The other one was Spotify. So Spotify, another beautiful trade today. God, I just can't get over the fact that we got a lot of nice little setups today, combined with a whole bunch of volatility here. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here and show you guys this nice little trend here. So I don't think I've actually edited any of these charts in a while, so I'm gonna do that real quick for you guys. Jesus, and now that I'm looking at it, I swear it does not get any more beautiful than this. Just look at this massive trend. It literally goes back to 2023. So this is about 2 years ago, and that's a trend. I think we might even have 2 touch points here, and then a third one coming in over here, and then a fourth one very near the recently right now. So again, let's zoom in a little bit closer actually. So we have a kind of a touch point here, and then the last one was yesterday, the last touch point here, and then you get the aggressive sledgehammer black candle here. Aggressive sellers clearly won the scrimmage today, and you want to be in the side of that game. You want to position yourself in that side of the team here. So what about my stop loss? Where do I put my stop losses? I haven't even been talking about that, but I should mention it on this case right here. So in this case, because sometimes I use either you could use the high of this current candle, which I did use, to be quite honest, because I think if I were to use a counter trend line, it would have been this counter trend line right here, and I think it's too wide. It's definitely too wide here. So I think I use the current candle here, and something else you could do if you want a tighter stop loss, which would just be simply add another trend line. Something like this would be good as well. So I have 2 options here, and I already took one option, which is the high of this candle here, just to really keep this stock at a leash. And I also think that if it does go back to the 620 area, I think the breakout just gets invalid at this point. Or maybe I'll use this little trend line as well right here to trend it. So for right now, I'm using the current candle's high, but as time goes on, prices are going to go sideways, and these trend lines here that I have drawn, these 2 upper counter trend lines, are going to act as some form of resistance, and therefore acting as some form of trailing stop method or a trailing profit method in the case that you're already in the profit. So there it is. I think I'm going to end it right there, to be honest with you guys. This is, I've literally explained to you guys everything that I could right now in as short as time as possible. Again, if you guys want a full breakdown, which is, I mean, pretty much what I gave you guys right now, it's really simple. It doesn't get any more simpler than this. But if you want a more physical paper documentary strategy here format, it's all right here in detail. And then I also have a summary here. I mean, literally go ahead and take it right here. It's not a problem with me at all. Again, if you want the actual watch list in terms of my, because I only watch 30 stocks every day, and out of those 30 stocks, I probably get like 2 or 3, sometimes 4 in good days like today, to watch, to potentially trade. And then at the end of the day, I actually do send out the trades that I took. As you can see here, Walmart, Spotify, Netflix, all of them insanely beautiful. It doesn't get any more better than that. If you're interested, go ahead and check out the Discord. It's in the link below. But I'm going to end the video right there. You guys, a beautiful day today. Tomorrow, hopefully, is going to be another beautiful day. If you guys enjoyed this little video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys, stay focused and subscribe, you guys.